So why alive education? We know that, and this is exactly what we are talking about. It takes a village to raise a child. This is so true in this time of where we are. Because the boy, 20 years old boy, who is just finished his school and going to college or university, he needed more help from community. I think it is not enough just to have a school and home. And therefore, I believe, therefore, we have organized that model, that a triangular model is one. You see that it is motivation. The foundation is about to make every child to understand why they are in this world and what they need to do. It is not important that they can be great in mathematics, they can be great in language or arts or sciences, but it is important that they should be human being first of all. And therefore, we emphasize on this fact, and I'll come back the connection with IB. And we, of course, we know that our kids need to be proficient, they need to be excellent in languages, communication, and in mathematics. We understand that if they're good in these areas, they must do well in their academic life, and at the end of the day, they'll be doing excellent in life. So I know I have a limited time. I don't want to go in details, but just I want to say this model is working wonderfully, especially with the Canadian education model. We call it fill in the gaps. In comparatively, in respect of many other models in the world, Canadian education model, of course, it is in a higher rank. However, it has lots of deficiencies yet. And we believe that if they can get support in parallel, especially that which are not given in school, emphasis are less. This part is very less in terms of we are busy to completing the curriculum. And we parents and community and teachers, we need to be committed to make sure that children can get that support. So therefore, this is, I wanted to tell you why alive education. Now, I'm going to ask Dr. Rashida to talk about IB itself, why we are here today. But at the same time, I'm telling you why alive education has so much connection with IB, because you will be hearing from Dr. Rashida that what IB is different than the traditional curriculum of school. What do you think, Dr. Rashida? Is it okay that then I want to, as I said, we are very proud, Dr. Rashida, who has been working with us for 4 years already, I guess. And she was in the IB world for many years. I do not want to tell many things about her, but you will be hearing in person right now. So Dr. Rashida, please go ahead.
Yeah, if you can close your screen.
Yeah. Dr. Mr. Dave, can you just turn off this stop share? Okay.
Yeah, Deb, can you open the IB presentation? So while Deb is going to start, I would like to first welcome each one of you to this wonderful session. I know it's one of those Saturday evenings where you would like to be out somewhere with your kids, but COVID has made our movement so restricted. So the virtual platform has become the most in thing today. Everybody says, I have a virtual meeting, I have this, I have that on the virtual platform. Some are having kitty parties also on the virtual platform. Somebody are talking about business activities, like Uzma is the head of a business organization. So she has so many meetings. So I think the IB world is just the best place with all this happening around the world. IB International Baccalaureate is the place where I think it could create an interesting platform where somebody says, I just was asking before we could start this presentation, There is one of our members, Mr. Farooq Hussain, who's with us. I was asking him, how does he deal with this situation? So he said, I feel I'm in a jail. So today, that is the feeling each and every member of the community, of the society, of the world is feeling, that their movements have been restricted. So let's move away that screen. We don't want that cataract in our life. We want to remove that. And that's why, if you can see the title, IB orientation, there is a reflection. I hope you can all see my PowerPoint presentation. So you can see the reflection. That's the first thing. If you want your children to be part of this program, if you don't want them to be part of an activity which happened in London, and if you want them to do something for the world, because they are the future citizens, then they need to reflect. And that's why I put the title, IB orientation in reflection. How many of us reflect on our actions? I think we do not have time in this mechanical world even to talk to our children for more than 10 minutes. But luckily, there was a good side of the pandemic which brought us all together. Everybody started working online and we got time to know each other. Family time grew more and we understood how much it is important for reflection to be there, to understand each other. I have a dream, said Martin Luther King. Dream big. Who said dream big? Can anyone recollect? Abdul Kalam Azad said dream big. But I say, realize your dreams. It's good to dream, but unless you realize your dreams, you would not know what you're heading for. And to realize your dreams, you need to come and make your children understand the importance of IB, International Baccalaureate. Good evening, one and all, once again. I am your host for the IB presentation. I'm Dr. Rashida Suleiman. I've been for the past 20 years associated with the IB program. I've been a principal of a school, an examiner of an IB program, and I've been attending workshops all over the globe and training teachers to understand how to deal with students while teaching the IB. And I feel so honored and so good when there's somebody to listen about this program, because it really makes you understand what the world needs. Just now, before we could start this presentation, Dr. Monjur was saying, we don't have answers for why it happened. But if everyone understood what IB was, everyone would have at least a fraction of an answer to that question, why people are behaving abnormal. I call that abnormal. A normal human being would not do that. So let me tell you now more about IB, and then we come back to the reflection part. Deb, can we go to the next slide? So each one of you who's present today, you want to enroll your child in the IB program. But before that, for everything, there is a cost. There is a price to pay. So the price here is your children need to qualify in the entrance exam before they could enter into this beautiful journey. It's a beautiful ocean where they would swim, they would slide, they would float, they would do all types of activities, and then they swim across and fly above the skies when they are finally, when they are finished the IB diploma program, graduating from grade 12. So today you have to reflect on these questions. The considerations are, how does your child feel when he is challenged? Now it is the summer break. You have a little more time with your kids. So give them some challenging tasks or ask them some questions and see if they are ready. And maybe some of you already know your kids so well. Why am I asking you? Because every question here has an underlying meaning and a connection with the IB program. So the first thing you need to reflect upon is your child ready for a challenge? When you challenge your child, does he feel overjoyed? Does he feel excited? Or does he feel overwhelmed? And when you see that he feels overwhelmed, but still tries to get out of it and try to meet the challenge, then yes, he's ready. Because we always have to equip. When you go on a journey also, you have to get ready for the destination. You understand if it is a warmer place you're going, what things to carry in order to have a beautiful vacation. Similarly, the IB program is meant for people who are ready to plunge into the ocean. Though it's a beautiful ocean, yet you have challenges. And so you have to see these questions now in order to make sure, is your child ready? So if he can face challenges, then put a tick, well done. First part of the hurdle is crossed. Second question, you need to reflect and make your child reflect. Does he handle rigor? Means, is he hardworking? Any rigorous task, does he have enough time to do that? Not only facing that rigorous task, but also does he have time management skills? Because in the International Baccalaureate, you have a lot of assessments. You have both internal and external assessments. So they need to learn how to manage their time. What is time management? A simple answer is balance your responsibilities. And we as parents should be role model for them. And I'm sure if you have taken time to come here, I'm sure all of you are very responsible. Uzma Khan, who's present with us, she took the time 2 years ago to join us and make her children join the program. And she understood how beautiful that journey was. And I thank you, Uzma, for coming back again today. Your presence really makes us feel that why can't everyone be like you? I know it's difficult to take out Saturday evening time, but if you care for your children, you want to give them the best, you want to give them the icing on the cake, then you need to spare a little time. I might sound a little pushy, but this is what I desire, and I pray and I hope every parent takes out time like you have taken out today. So once you know your child can face challenges, your child has time management skills, is rigorous when he gets assignments to do or any task, you tell him today, son, I need you to help me with my cleaning of the car, or I need you to do this task in the kitchen with mom. How does he take this responsibility? Does he take it with a pinch of salt, or does he take it with a smile? It's all in you, my dear students, parents, how you deal with this situation. And if you see that they are balanced, well done. Second check. Third one, can your child self-advocate and seek help only when he needs? Some children are totally dependent. Mom, can you tell me how to do this? Dad, can you tell me how I should open this? But some children try. You have to teach your kids to be independent, to self-advocate, and then seek help only when needed. And of course, they should have the trust in you that my dad and my mom are there. Let me tell you a simple anecdote on this, because in the IB program, we give connections with simple anecdotes. I'm sure all of you know what are anecdotes. So there was a father who wanted his child to learn how to self-advocate and how to be totally dependent, but trust was a very big thing he wanted his child to understand. He should trust him. So it was a dark place. He took his child in on a cliff, and he stood down and he told his child, jump. I'm there to hold you, jump. He wanted to make sure that does the child trust his father? The child thought for 2 seconds and jumped and landed straight in his father's hands. So that shows that do your children have the trust in you? Will they be ready to jump when it's dark and you ask them to do that? Will they be ready to jump into tasks which you assign them to do? If they are ready, they are ready for the IB. So this is a checklist. And you have to prepare yourself and prepare your child to go through this checklist, try it out yourself, and make sure that they are passing through this. And when you see a pass in all of these, then you know that they are ready for the IB program. Yes, Deb, the next slide, please. So before I could go to who and what is the IB, I'm sure you all have done your homework, because you have come here with a purpose, with an objective in mind, that you want to enroll your kids with Alive. My association with Alive was similarly the same way, like the child jumped in the darkness. I was in Toronto. I had a conversation with Dr. Monjur, and I knew I could trust him, even without meeting him. I knew he could meet my goals. We had the same mindset. We had the same mission and vision. Without a moment of thinking or evaluating, I moved from Toronto and landed in Ottawa. I was working there. I had a good job. But when I heard Dr. Monjur, I want to do something for this community where the kids today feel so secure that they are safe. And the IB program, believe me, once your children finish this, you will see them transformed. Complete change. If I could run from Toronto and come to Ottawa just because I knew Dr. Monjur was speaking the same language I was speaking, the language of IB, the language of being balanced, the language of taking risks, the language of being caring and being a strong communicator, all the principles of the IB learner's profile, I could see in Dr. Monjur's 1-hour conversation. Am I right, Dr. Monjur? Dr. Monjur, am I right? I spoke to you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm honored, Dr. Rashida, I'm honored. Thank you, thank you.
And I just moved here and I started my journey, and we saw the way students joined us and they were so successful. They felt so good. Even today they connect with us. even after joining the IB, I would tell you parents, it's not only our goal to put them into the IB, but also whenever they need, that trust should remain forever. They should be ready to jump in that dark tunnel, but because they trust us. And this is what I tell when I train teachers. Build the trust in them that they are ready to trust you. Whenever they need you, you're there for them. This is what this platform and this IB is all about. So before that, I'll just say, I know your time is precious, but I wouldn't feel good if I didn't tell you a little bit about the history of IB, how it all started. After the Second World War, people lost interest in sending children to school. If they said, if education was creating a bomb, we don't want that education. We don't want our children to be literates. Being illiterate is better. So schools were closed down. People were dreading to send children to school. They preferred teaching their kids at home. There was a turmoil all over the world. How could they change the concept and the perspective of the future citizens? How could they not have social skills? They need to interact. They need to come out. They need to meet peers. It was not happening. Nobody was interested. The World War, the Second World War was such a tragic event. And people still remember what happened with that bomb blast. Till now, people are being born blind and deaf. The aftermath of that is still seen, is still heard. People have not got over it. But luckily, some educators got together and they said, let's design a program with 10 commandments, just as we have the 10 commandments. They said, we'll have 10 principles, which every IB student should take an oath. And when to be principled, to be caring, to be reflective. When those 10 principles were formulated, they told the people around that this platform is for kids, not for education, but teaching them not to take part in disasters. So that the approach for teaching and learning became different on this platform. That's why we have something in the IB called Attitude for Teaching and Approach to Learning, which is so beautifully designed. And when those principles were formulated, and they said, when the children, only those kids can join this program who have these 10 qualities in them, 10 attributes in them. And that's how it became what was called the International Baccalaureate. These are those, just scroll it a little up. The 10th one is not being seen. Deb. The last one is reflective. Okay. So these are the 10 principles which were designed by those educators after the Second World War. And when students had to join, they had to make sure, like an oath, like a promise. I will be an inquirer. I will be knowledgeable. I am a thinker. I am a communicator. I am principled. I am open-minded. I am caring. I am a risk taker. I am balanced. I am reflective. When those students said that, they were given tasks to do, which was that entrance exam, which your children will be trained when they join our program here. Rigorous training would be done, rigorous exposure of question papers, rigorous exposure of resources and tasks. We would play a game like how when we construct a building, first the foundation is built, and then we jump on the foundation to see whether it is strong to make the building. Similarly, here at AlivEducation, for the IB program, we will not let them just build the building without making sure that their foundation, their knowledge is strong enough to build the entire building. So we will make sure that they become inquirers, they become knowledgeable, they become thinkers, they become communicators, they become principled, they become open-minded, they are caring, they are risk-takers, they are balanced, they are reflective. And when they understand each term, for every term we will have tasks for them to do. Self-evaluation is the best way to realize, am I ready to plunge in the sea? And when they get that, you will be talking and they will be talking to you, the experience they will have at Alive. Deb, next slide, please. Deb. Now, for every door, there is a key. If you don't put the right key, you will not open the door. You all know about that. Of course, it's become high-tech. Some of you can open your car with a remote. So we have not yet reached that. In education, we still have keys to open, and we still have doors to open with keys. So again, I have created 12 keys. If your children want to do the IB program successfully, they should have these keys with them. And we will train them how to get those keys. They have to earn those keys. Mainly, the first key is time management. We will teach them how to manage time. Organization. Today, kids, whether you go to public schools, I am a principal of 3 schools. I'm Canadian Knowledge Academy, Ibn Battuta, and I work in a public school in Quebec. In addition, I have my own school as well. So I see people with different, especially children with different mindset. In private schools, the mindset is different. In public schools, the mindset is different. In an online school, the mindset is totally different. So we will teach them how education is not different. Education has only one key. You cannot demand. You have to accept it. And when you accept it beautifully, it accepts you. It's a give and take relationship. And this is what we are going to teach your kids at Alive. How to be organized. I know sometimes you feel frustrated as parents. Children go into their room, they scatter their things around. They go into the kitchen, they don't put the things back in place. Some of you must have trained them, but yet they're too young. Grade 8, they still have a long journey. So organization is very important if they want to come into IB. They have to drop the middle school mentality. I know this is a little confusing for you as parents, but if you tell your children, they totally understand. When they go from grade 8 to grade 9, it's a total different domain. So their mentality, their mindset completely has to be matured. They will no longer be treated as young individuals, but they will be treated as matured individuals. There will be some expectations from you as parents, from the teachers, from the principals, from the management, from each and every corner. There'll be expectations and they'll be totally under pressure. But they need to manage that pressure. We will teach them at Alive how to manage that. It's not easy, but it's not impossible, because impossible is I am possible. Of course, they have to develop strong study habits. Unless they have strong schedules and strong study habits, I'm not telling them to give up their outdoor activities. They can still have to go to their basketball or soccer. They can still be part of different teams and different clubs, because that is what IB is all about, to be an all-rounder. And I'll be talking to you about the curriculum as well. What are the expectations of the curriculum? Motivation, a very beautiful word. You must have heard it umpteen times. But motivation in the right spirit, with the right language, is what motivation is all about. Positivity. I think each one of these words is like a compound word. It has depth in every word, I say. We have to be positive in everything you do. Don't give up, because you have taken an oath that you are a risk taker. You have taken an oath that you are balanced. Before you enter the program, you have 10 oaths to promise. And then only you take the keys in your hand and then start opening each door. Response to adversity. COVID-19. We brought in different ways to manage, to cope up with it. We knew how to respond to adversity. We knew how to manage schools online. We knew how to get back to school when needed. We knew how to help our family to meet this adversity. In all times, when we are together, we can move mountains. Self-reflection, as I told you. Give them a task and let them reflect whether they are ready for the task. Can they do it 50% on their own? Can they do it 40% on their own? They have to evaluate themselves. How much of your help they need? Self-advocacy. School involvement. I will be coming there for the entrance.
Debu, is there any problem?
They right? They have been performing. Wait. Let them start improving from grade 6, because the test is from grade 6, 7, and 8. Whatever they have learned, it's all with that information, their previous knowledge, their prior information, and then they build on it. So that's the way they go up and up. Unless you have a strong foundation, you can't go into the IB stream. It's impossible, especially math and English. These are the 2 areas which would be tested. Testimonial on how your child. I'm sure you understand character, behavior. Yes, as kids, is human, but fine. Out of mistakes. And mistakes are the stepping stones to success. But mistakes repeated are not mistakes. After realizing their mistakes, and you go on and on and on, that is the time as parents, as educators, we have to say stop. Tolerance. See, that child in London, I would still call him a child, though he's 20-year-old. This factor was missing, tolerance. So IB has the answers of it because we mold our children in that way. We prepare them for life. That's why they are lifelong learners. We don't prepare them for today or tomorrow. Ontario curriculum, American curriculum, British curriculum, whatever it is, we prepare them for today. Is history, future is a mystery, today is a present, so let's focus on the present. Let's focus on the moment. But IB says, you need to be a lifelong learner. No matter what happens, you have to have these qualities now and forever. Build them, never to forget, never to give up. Yes, Deb, can we go to the next slide? Deb, are you there? Now, for the IB program, for the curriculum, it is a hexagon model. There are 6 subjects to be taken by every student. 3 subjects can be taken at higher level and 3 at standard level. The standard level is a little easier than the higher level. So supposing your child is good in mathematics, he takes mathematics higher level because he wants to go in engineering. So for engineering, mechanical, he needs a higher level mathematics, and he'll have a guidance counselor who will guide him through that for selection of subjects as well. So we don't leave the child to swim on his own. We teach him how to swim and then leave him alone. So he has to take 3 higher level and 3 standard level subjects from the hexagonal curriculum. The first subject is A. A is the language in which is your mother tongue. So if you're taking English as from group A, then from group B, you have to take another additional language, which is not which is your second language. And third group is individual societies on humanities. Every group has got about 30 to 40 subjects. Your child has to choose just one from them. But that one, he has to do a lot of research. He has to do a lot of thinking because he has made a promise he has to be a thinker. So he's got 3 higher level subjects. So then group 4 are the sciences. Group 5 is mathematics and computers. And group 6 is theater and art. So he can take one from each. And if he doesn't like theater and art, he takes one more subject from the 5 groups. But a total of 6 subjects. 3 higher level and 3 standard level. He has to take. Yeah, and then in addition, what makes IB different from the other curriculums is the core of IB, the heart. Each one of us, we have a heart. We are worried about heart because organ of our body. Of course, the brain, but the brain controls the heart. The heart pumps blood to the body. So, similarly, the IB's core is the heart of IB. Those 3 subjects which are not taught in what makes an IB student different, unique. And Harvard get IB students because they know they are different. They are unique. In terms of career also, I'll show you a survey. I have it in my slide. How many students were selected into the best universities because they had done IB and not done the other curriculum? So if you think your child is the best, you want to give the best, do not deny him of this beautiful concept, IB. So the score has got 3, extended essay, creativity action service, that's CAS, and TOK, that's theory of knowledge. Every curriculum tells us learn science, learn biology, chemistry, physics, humanities, but nobody tells you why are you learning this. In theory of knowledge, we learn why are we studying this particular subject. We do a thesis on it. We do a research on it. So in grade 12, PhD, do it in grade 12. They have 3 research papers to submit. One in extended essay, which is a 4,000-word essay. That's another thing we will develop, the vocabulary enrichment at Alive. We will make your child so strong in vocabulary that he would be able to write essays without thinking, write synonyms, antonyms, write different similes, metaphors. He will know different literary devices. All that would be taught here at Alive. Make him so well equipped that he will never hesitate, never feel overwhelmed, always be balanced and principled, and ready to swim in that deep ocean. CAS is more about voluntary work, creativity action service, work with organizations, work with those who are orphanages, work with the people who are have disabilities, understand their needs, have empathy in you, feel for them. This is what IB does. And finally, you understand the need of each and every human being, that you all are one beautiful family. We are one world, one family. Next slide. So these are how the marks are distributed. 6 subjects, 7, it's IB is a scale of is the highest score. So 7 times 6 subjects is 42. And then the 3 points come from extended essay, CAS, and TOK, the core, the heart of IB. So a total score of 45 points. To get a diploma, to earn a diploma or a certificate, there are 2 things. If your child gets tired and is not able to succeed with the diploma, he can take an internal exam and he gets an IB certificate. But if he takes an external exam, he gets an IB diploma. And the highest score in each subject is 7 points, and total is 45 points. That is the IB Diploma Matrix. Thank you. The matrix is very simple. We do not have time, but I could explain. I could go on and on because I am an IB examiner. We have certain expectations. We have rubrics, just as we have in our curriculum. And we share that at every time. Every teacher reminds the students about how they need to go about. Yes, Deb? So when a survey was conducted, IB students are more prepared for college or university. When a survey was conducted, students reported they felt prepared by the diploma program for college. Students reported that they felt prepared to succeed and excel in their coursework, had strong academic skills, especially related to analytical writing, because they will teach them critical analysis. Learned academic behaviors like work ethics, motivation, time management, help seeking that they were sources of strength, and transition to college was smooth. From this curriculum to go to college, they feel that, oh, this is a piece of cake now, because we make them exposed to such difficult challenges that then the college life becomes as easy as a piece of cake. And then they have it too and enjoy the taste of it. They identified preparation in the IB program as the source of the college students. Thank you. Next slide. them. So for the entrance exam, where what we are going to prepare your children, we are going to, the IB is going to see your child's academic record in grade 6, 7, and 8. And then the recommendations, the letters which go from the principal of the school to the IB, as well as the teachers. Their recommendation letters also mean a lot. Not only how your child performed in class, but extracurricular activities, voluntary work, whatever extra they did, the credentials they got, they earned those credits by being a good human being. They showed that in the form, because they say actions speak louder than words. And of course, the IB application. The questions there look simple, but there you have to read between the lines in order, it's all to do with the IB's learner's profile. We'll teach your children how to fill this application as well. So it's a piece, it's not difficult. It's a piece of cake for us, but when your child knows the right thing at the right time, they feel it's so easy. We make things easier, smoother, and that happens at Alive. Rigorous preparation for mathematics and English. We have a lot of resource material, and we expose them with so much of information, so many tasks to do. We make an interactive approach, because our program is designed, it's child-centered, not teacher-centered. So because it's child-centered, we learn from each other, they learn from us, they learn from others, and we learn from them as well. Therefore, I always end my presentation that success is a journey, not a destination. Your child is in the right place. You have come here. Thank you so much for attending this program and this orientation. Believe me, your child will be the best if you desire the best. And this destination will take him to places. Thank you so much for sparing us.